and I also have Nikki Taylor. Alright, so today in this stream we are just going to talk, the first stream, we're going to talk about the MCNN official YouTube channel and what it's going to be about, and then I'm going to talk to Beersy and Nikki and see what their views and opinions are on the MilSim community currently. So, to start off with, the MCNN YouTube channel, we'll have many things on it. It will have talk shows similar to what's going to happen after this in interviews, where I will talk to specific people and usually make like a compilation type thing, like a real news channel does, where they show the little thing at the bottom, their name and all that stuff. It'll also have news reports and live coverage for certain events, so like ops, wars, things of that sort. Alright, and now, Mr. Beersy and Mr. Nikki,
yes.
What are your current views on the MilSim community? What are some things good or bad, and what do you think we can do to better the community in the future?
Who first? Oh, I'll go first.
Doesn't matter.
I think the community right now is better than it has been. I mean, I remember last year when I joined around the same time of the year, it was more or less a clusterfuck, because everybody was like, oh, look at me, my MilSim's the best. But now it's kind of like, I don't really care about everyone else's MilSims, I just want to make sure I have more than 10 guys and I can actually fight if I have to. And that's better than it was. In terms of how to make it better, though, I mean, there is a little drama, but that's okay. It's kind of shifted around and it's healthy. I mean, a little drama's healthy. But to avoid big conflicts, I think we should all try to cooperate with each other and not try to make two big conflicting sides that want to kill each other.
The General Scouse is gonna have a take on that.
We have Scouser folk who dares here today.
Brilliant. For everyone that doesn't know, this is General Scouse here at the Lions Den, MilSim. We are supporters of MCNN. We think we wish them all the best. We think it's a good outlet. It's very neutral, and hopefully they continue to be that way and report on the MilSim community. And as RTBC said, everyone does need to come together and you know, a pact, an agreement to the war aggression pact, and rules and documents need to be drawn up and handed out. The WMO, for anyone that doesn't know, which is also supported by MCNN and also supports MCNN, is a new community. That's what we currently have around 14 MilSims involved, and we are looking to initiate all those things. And well, I'm going to leave now and leave the floor to you guys. I just wanted to give you a good shout out for your channel. I shall come back onto the stream shortly. I've just got to handle some business, so carry on, guys. Sorry to interrupt you.
Alright, have a nice day.
Yeah, that's quite alright. Nikki, if you have anything to add, that's all I've really got, just cooperation.
Yeah, I guess just whenever I came in about 2 years ago, whenever everyone said it was in its prime, and then a year after that's whenever it kind of just all went completely downhill, and everyone was just trying to, like you said, oh, look at me, my MilSim is the best because I have 60 guys, even though only 5 are online. Everyone was just going war over the, it's gotten better now. I don't really see as much of that.
And for those of you that are new to MilSim and you don't know what he means by 2 years ago, like it was a lot better than now. 2 years ago to 3 years ago, there was a nice, like a big term of peace. There were a few big MilSims, no one really small, everyone got along, everyone had fun. A little bit after that, a few of the bigger MilSims fell, unfortunately, and it kind of brought down the entire community with them because they were the ones that kind of ran the community. One of the jobs of MCNN, along with the you know, the news and obviously things of that sort, helping the smaller clans recruit, get big, is to try to piece the community back together, restore it to its former glory.
Got to love that conservative idealism.
Alright, is there anything else anyone else would like to bring up? You know, anything you've seen, anything you want to talk about? Views on anything?
I think one thing I want to bring up is the Battlefield 1 thing, because now it is it's kind of coming back. I noticed that especially for what was the, you know, the 101st, they were pretty big on the whole Battlefield 1. All like now, because the point now is that the servers are back. Like you can now buy a server for about the same amount of money you can buy a server on Battlefield 4. But here's the reality of the situation: is that although yes, Battlefield 1 is back, it does not mean you have to abandon Battlefield 4. I mean, if you want and I'm speaking directly to ROMs or anybody else on Battlefield 4. If you want to speak directly to the MilSim community as a whole, you're going to have to speak here in Battlefield 4. People have not left. People don't want to invest their time in a game that should have had this shit happen immediately. It's the stuff's happening here, guys. I don't know who you're fighting, but it's happening here. That also goes for Scouser. That's all that though.
There's MilSim everywhere. It's not just on one game. It's not just on the newer game.
Yeah, that's
I've only just come back there, RTBG. I missed your speech there. Can you enlighten me? I've just literally come back and I just heard something going for Scouser. If you'd like to enlighten me, what were you talking about?
I was just saying how it was just kind of an ultimatum saying that the Battlefield 4 community is still here and we're probably not going to go anywhere soon, and that not more for you but more for ROMs to not abandon us here to move on to Battlefield 1, and just remember that most people are here.
Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is our main platform.
It's where a lot of us started.
You know, and we will be always remaining strong on Battlefield 4, and our main focus is Battlefield 4. No, we have gone over to Battlefield 1, but the main group, which is me, myself, remain on Battlefield 4, which is the majority of lines. Then we have a bunch of new guys over on Battlefield 1. We're still on there, you know. We might do ops on there and everything else. But as for my opinion, and this doesn't reflect everyone in LD's opinion, the game is trash. But you know, I'm willing to give it a go. You know, and that's our take on it. Well, my take on it. But we are on it, like, you know. I think we've got over 85 members or something like that on Battlefield 1 currently. We're still growing.
Oh, we're crashing. Mayday.
We're not going to get into the drama with Drums the Bomb. The other day, you know, he tried to talk all this drama talk, and we added them to a chat. It was a war talk chat, and he kept leaving the chat, and then at that point we said, okay, you know what, we'll leave it at that. And as reported the other day, you know, he runs around talking his mouth about the 101st Wolf Parrot. But, you know, as he's admitted the other day, and I've showed the screenshots, he was the leader of the 17 Spartans, covertly. We did have a war with the 17 Spartans, as everybody knows, on Operation Mortar, and we destroyed them. So as far as we're concerned, as Roms the Bomb said, that the screenshot they sent me, and that screenshot is in our community.
These screenshots, I believe, are also in MCNN chats.
Yes. Yeah, so the 17 Spartans was the 101st. It was just under a different name, and Line 10 destroyed it. So as far as we're concerned, that war was won a long time ago. Rest in peace, 101st. We're not interested in this pathetic drama on his YouTube. We want to do MilSim, do ops, help the community, and not help him in this drama. And that's all. That's our take on him. We're not going to get into all this pathetic going back and forth on YouTube and all that stuff, which is why, you know, we simply responded with it on our YouTube. We haven't even responded to him because we don't want to give him the time of day. He doesn't deserve it. You know, he's worthless to us. You know, he done a stupid video on his YouTube, like saying he beheaded Scouser or something stupid like that, and it was just cringy, to be honest with you. Our reply to that was we done a BCT for Battlefield 1. Just to show we're not interested in his patheticness. We've beaten once, and that was that. And we'll leave it at that. And we all know he's a cheat anyway. He's done nothing but cheating wars and all the rest of it. You know, we're not interested in his drama.
Yeah, whatever Ron was kind of out of the community, it seemed to be a lot better.
I think a good point that was...
that he actually also leads, obviously it's the First Marines, which is basically Corey, so we believe the First Marines, First SFOD, we believe First SFOD is like the Special Forces, obviously being SFOD for the Empire, being Roms, and we believe they take orders from Roms the Bomb. Now, this isn't confirmed, but I have been in parties with them, and I have heard Roms, basically, giving them instructions and everything else, and our intel suggests that Roms the Bomb is the true leader of the First SFOD also. Now, Minion of Chaos, he comes across like he's a good guy. He goes around the community talking about how he doesn't want drama and he just wants to do ops. Yeah, all he does lately, what I'm seeing out of him, is talking about drama and ops, and he just wants power in the community. For Roms the Bomb, we've created a community called Walls of Valhalla, which we believe Roms the Bomb is behind. And that is basically to destroy the community once again, and Roms' little empire, and that's all that is. So.
Oh, it was just so funny to me.
None of this is 100% confirmed, just to clarify for anyone viewing on MCNN.
Yeah, I mean, I'll state that myself.
There
None
is
of it's
probable
confirmed, it's just,
intel,
it's
but we have
just,
no confirmed hard evidence that we can say.
confirm it, but, you know.
We can
None of that
speculate.
matters. I mean, who cares?
Oh.
And at the end of really interested in the first SFOD anyway. I mean, at the end of the day, they go around talking about them being so good, but if anyone wants to go to Line 10 MilSim YouTube channel, you'll see us destroy them. We also destroyed those 2 weeks ago, so we're not really bothered about them either. They can run around and give us a bad name all they want. You know, they seem to think everyone hates LD, but you know what they don't realise is we also have a lot of supporters and a lot of friends in the community. A lot of people pretend that they hate us and, you know, come back and tell us all the good stuff, which is quite juicy. We do enjoy that. But I mean, LD, all we do is try and help people. We try and help small clans. Like I'm here now with MCNN. They've, you know, used a new video. Swen's asked me to come along to help the channel. That's what I'm here doing. That's what I do. I try and help anyone, whether you're a small MilSim or whatever. If you have problems with training, ops, you need a server, you know, I'm always there, I'm always open. We don't go around bullying anyone. We've never ever declared a war on anyone without being provoked. We've never ever invaded servers for fun. We don't do it. There's not one new MilSim out there that we go and attack or anything, you know. So that's all I've got to say. The truth speaks for itself. But you know, if everyone wants to hear the gossip and the rumour and the bullshit, you know, you might believe we're bad guys and I'm a bad guy, but you know, that's far from the truth. So.
I think this conversation is important to bring up though, that I don't think that no drama is good. I think there should be a healthy amount, because I personally like the little raids here and there.
Healthy drama,
You
good
know,
humor drama, yeah.
That's you know, I've got nothing against what other clans do. I don't try and dictate to what other MilSims do, whether they want to raid or not. I'm just stating what we do. You know, we don't go around doing that stuff. And that doesn't mean to say that, you know, you can't or any other clan can't. That's I don't tell any other clan how to run their business. That's their business.
Pull up. Oh, good.
Right, 1 second. I need to take a call anyway. Carry on, guys, anyway. Yeah.
Well, no, I think a little bit of drama is healthy. You know, not like this whole. I remember back when
not
SGA
drama where
was a
people
thing.
used to be hacking.
Oh no, like that whole. I don't think hacking's really an issue, but I mean, you got the good point. Like,
It used
if
to
there
be
was
back
to be
in the
hacking
day.
at some point,
They used to be hacking. Several
Yeah,
people
but-
had money stolen from them directly.
I'm not worried. Nobody hates me anymore. My MilSim's doing actually quite alright right now. I only have one enemy, and they're about to merge with my allies, so that wouldn't even make them an enemy. No, that's because I had my MilSim, Task Force 88, had a proxy, or, you know, basically my MilSim owned their MilSim, because they did not have a server or enough guys to kind of be big enough, and as Rom said, he was just protecting the little guy. So I said, okay, well, I want to protect the little guy too, but yeah, I'm sorry, did I say Roms?
Yeah.
Okay, I meant Scouser, thank you. As Scouser was saying, it's I want to protect the little guy as well, so I didn't want to do it for free though. So I made them mine technically, and we had these terms and conditions, and it was said, okay, so you can't leave unless you give me a formal warning that you're leaving, and you can't, you know, do anything diplomatic and all the good proxy shit. And today I'm finding out that the second in command I kicked a while ago is now contacting them and making secret chats without me and doing all this shifty shit. And I found out about it, and I immediately declared war on it on the first Spetsnaz, which is our proxy, only to find out about 20 minutes later that that the same MilSim we just declared war on is now going to merge with 3-Para, or Gabe Willis and all their guys. And because they're allies with us, we're in a complicated situation, as pointed this video, to say, so do we kind of suck up what we're doing and declare war on 3rd-Para anyways, or do we let it go and make everyone see that we're the kind of MilSim that backs down? And honestly, we have no idea. I'm getting arguments from both sides, and they're all very good, and as a leader, it's stressful. So I don't know. But it's not important. The important thing is that we're growing. Also, here's something for your news channel. Academy, very old PMC back in the day. You know, good old people like Dazzle Casey and CT George, and you know, it was the successor to Phoenix Legion about a year ago. It is back. It is back and on its way. And if anybody is in an inactive MilSim or in a MilSim that is not doing so well, and you want to be part of an actual really good MilSim, I highly recommend either. But if you don't like me, then I would join Academy, because Academy, this new one, Academy 3.0, is I know who's leading it. I know how it's gonna be run. I've seen the way the guy works. I mean, I respect him. He has my endorsement there, so I would join him.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Academy is officially back, apparently.
There you go.
I think I've heard about it. About it being back.
That's all I got to talk about, unless someone wants to bring something up.
Anything at this point.
Taylor, how's your MilSim?
Pretty good. I mean, we've been doing all right. Haven't had any drama like at all.
Oh shit, being shot at.
Bro, I'm gaining so much altitude right now. My plane's stalling.
I've made it pretty aware with people that I'm not doing none of that drama shit, and I'm not putting no spies in people's MilSims, none of that. I just simply don't care enough to do it.
I think as the summer comes, there's going to be a big change in attitude, because right now it's like, you see, I kind of own the MilSim, but like, I don't really give half a shit because I'm busy.
It's like, yeah, it's the end of school, exams coming up, things of that sort. Like, for example, for me, next week's my last weekend is exam week, on Tuesday, so.
Nah, dude, I don't got no exams. I'm done with school. Like, no more grades are being put in for me.
See, I got one exam. I got a Spanish exam because the rest of my classes are state tested.
Yeah, my state tests were about 3 weeks ago.
My state tests were, what, March? Yeah, March.
Shit.
I guess all I can say really is there's gonna be a big old change in my MilSim coming up pretty soon.
My MilSim is growing pretty quickly. You know, people underestimate the fact that going, like, I think the only way people recruit now is kind of go into their friends list, see who kind of does MilSim now, and then just invite them, and then it's like, hey, do you want to do the same thing you did 2 months ago? And they're like, yeah, sure, why not? And then you gain people that way.
There's no new people really coming to MilSim right now.
Well, that's not true. That was just what I was getting to. Is the approach that one of my new recruiters, his name is Ezio, he's a fucking genius because of his old school ways. He just goes into public servers and he recruits all day. And then today, like for example, this morning we started with 20 guys because I purged out all the inactive, so we had 30 like last week, and now we had 20 active. Now today we have 29.
Nice.
And that was
I used to do that. I would have you have like a message that you send everyone, basically. Just a kind message, you know, inviting people to come in. Send it to everyone in there with them. Just send it to everyone in there, ask if they have a mic, let them in. I did that when I used to MilSim.
It works.
Yeah,
it's under
a lot
love.
better because community's definitely gotten smaller over the years, so we gotta start bringing new people in because the old people are just done with it no matter how hard you try to talk.
Yeah, because it was so much drama, yeah, Woo!
And I mean, the thing about doing it is that you have to kind of suck up the fact that you have to stop being lazy. I mean, for me, it was hard to get up in the morning and be like, oh, MilSim drama, here we go again. And then I realized just because I'm the leader, or even the co-leader, or even just a squad leader, does not mean that I'm on my own. Like, there are people I have to make happy. You know, if I'm a squad leader, I should probably do some pubs. If I'm an actual leader, I have a whole community to run. I mean, this is it. People call this a game. It is a game. It's absolutely a game. There's no disputing that. But it's not like it's a useless skill. You're practicing. If you're an enlisted, you're practicing following basic instructions. You use that every day. I mean, from listening to your parents, to being a construction worker, to joining the military. And
even
being
the
a leader,
people
that
like
can set
me,
you up for anything.
Even the people like me, like who not very well at sitting still and just being quiet sometimes and just trying to, you know, listen. It's honestly helped because you have to sit still when you're doing a MilSim op sometimes. You can't just run out in the middle of the battlefield and open up fire. You have to be quiet. You have to listen.
Yeah, it teaches self-discipline.
I don't know if MilSim's taught me self-discipline or anything about that, but I can tell you one thing. It sure as hell taken a lot of my time.
Well, I don't do sports or anything. The only thing I do is actual schoolwork. So it's better than just sitting in my house playing video games. At least I'm being somewhat productive with the games I'm playing too.
Meet new people, do new things, have fun.
Back to the community thing though. I think the main issue with the community is it was sort of like it 2 years ago whenever stuff was better, but it seems that now especially people don't seem to have like a mutual understanding of how the rules should be, and there's no real setup to how MilSim should interact.
Oh my god, I hate it.
It's just
like I play these ops with this one MilSim, and I will not say their name because just out of respect. But I play these ops with one MilSim, and every single time they ask, "What are the rules?" And granted, sometimes the rules will change, but I swear to God, this one time, they all started responding and reviving after I killed them all. And I'm like, "Have you ever played MilSim before? This is at this point
it's one of the standard
self-explanatory."
rules that you don't do.
Like, you know, what are they? They're like 8 standard rules or something. It's like don't respawn, don't revive, no infrareds or any of that shit. No vehicles.
Yeah.
What I meant when I said that was how, let's say, just an example, I call someone and I say, "Yo, by the way, you're one ugly piece of shit," and then he's like, "I declare war on you," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna go to war with that." They're like, "Fine, we accept your surrender." See, I feel like the community should have, everyone should be mutual on some sort of rules that say, alright, you can actually have a war over this, that way people aren't just walking around like, "Yeah, I made this MilSim surrender."
You can't surrender a war that hasn't happened yet. To surrender means that you are currently in conflict, and then you raise your white flag. You can't just be like in the chat, like, "Oh, I don't want to do this war," then you surrender. Like, it should be more like it's not your choice.
I know, that's what you say all the time, and then people are just like, "Yeah, well, that means you're surrendering." It's like, what are you smoking?
Yeah, you're just denying the war, you're not surrendering.
And not just that, but whenever it's over a stupid reason, I'm just like, why the hell would I do that?
I mean, better than just saying you surrender, what you should do is if they don't want to do the war, you just keep raiding them until they ban you. And if they ban you, you tell everyone exactly what they did. And at that point, it's up to the community. Because at that point, if the community thinks that you're in the right and they're in the wrong, then, I mean, you've already won your war. Say it out loud or not. They're not going to play ops with that MilSim anymore until they fight you. Like, you know, with respect.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's how I would handle it. I don't know about everyone else. I mean, that takes time. I mean, but I argue if you're going to take the time to declare war on somebody and actually set up all these rules, like, what pisses me off is, but there's practically no difference between a war and an op. There's actually no difference. The only difference I can possibly see is the difference is not with the actual gameplay. It's with who you're playing it with. An op you play with allies or people that you don't hate, and then a war you play. And what pisses me off is that it takes a war 2 weeks to set up and an op like 2 hours.
Yeah.
If you're bad.
Yeah, another thing that pisses me off is I'm not really the biggest fan of war because most of the time they're over something stupid, but if they're over something that makes sense, I wish they actually had some sort of weight to them, so it wasn't just like, yeah, I'm gonna go willy-nilly declaring war on a little 6-man MilSim, and then have a massive coalition against me, then lose, nothing happened. I just get called a loser over the internet, and then I go back to doing what I'm doing.
Right. So what I was saying is, in terms of having the community agree with anything, a little while ago, I was considering making this kind of, it's similar to a United Nations, and I know how that sounds because people have tried it, and it hasn't worked, right? And exactly. Oh God, that's what they always say. But I mean, in this case, we're all kind of cooperative at this point. I mean, it's been said 100 times in this interview and whatever alone. We're better than we used to be. So it's not out of the question at this point. We should get everyone together. If you're a MilSim, all you need to do is have more than 10 guys and apply for a membership, and then you're in. And then the only thing that membership would entail is if you're in this membership, then it's not for being friends, it's not for being enemies, it's just so every MilSim can have contact with every other MilSim. I know MilSims that I only found them because I did like 30 minutes of research through communities and asking around to finally get to even the first in command of that MilSim. And then I had to wait for all their protocols, and that would be much faster if we were all just in one community, which is what the World MilSim organization, I think, is trying to achieve. And I like that. That Scouzer's idea was a fantastic idea.
Yeah, they've done it before. It's just always ended up falling apart, unfortunately.
Yeah, not just that, but the thing is that the reason I think it mainly falls apart, and excuse me if I'm incorrect about this. I don't know about every community they made, but quite a few communities people have made. The issue has been that they try to make everyone equal. And I don't know if I sound like a dick, but when I say this, one person needs to be the straight up leader, but the one who kind of takes charge. Like, I understand the MilSim making decisions together, but I don't support the idea of everyone being equal. And that's what leads to a falling apart.
That's the problem with MilSim, because it's not real life. It's a game. So they're trying to make everyone equal, but in real life, the military is a socialist thing. Government, more or less, yeah, the military is socialist. Government, you have a leader. Yes, there's people that have to do a system of checks and balances in America specifically, but you still have that leader, so once it's passed, it's happening via their word.
I wouldn't say the military is socialist, I'd just say it's a hierarchy.
Yeah, socialist is socialist hierarchy, same type of thing. It's you have someone that's always above you. It keeps going up and up and up.
And that's what you need. Cause I'm not trying to point out everyone, but most of these people don't understand that they don't listen to their peers. They follow, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
That issue can be handled pretty easily with memberships. All you do is So here, I'll actually pitch my system right now, and if you guys like it or not, you can criticize it, because the system was going to be that everybody would vote on leaders and whatnot, right? You'd be a voter and you'd see like whatever. Okay, this MilSim is doing the best. Like we'd vote on public opinion, and then we'd see how well you're treating your guys and how well your guys like you. I'd interview people, and then after all of that, I'd get the list of all your members, and we'd get like a big roster, a roster of everybody, and so everyone would know, and all of the alliances would be publicly posted. And that's for a few reasons. One is to avoid drama. So, for example, let's say Task Force 88 and the 427th are in an alliance, and then let's say Nikki Taylor's MilSim wants to declare war on one of ours. Thank you. If you want to declare a war on me, wouldn't you like to know if I had 20 allies behind my back not telling anybody? I think you would, because then you wouldn't declare war in the first place.
Yeah, if you have an alliance or a pact, you need to make it public.
Yeah, no secret alliances, secret pacts.
Real good.
And I think whenever you first talk to someone, you need to ask them straight up all their alliances, and you need to formulate right then and there in the rules of engagement, not rules of engagement, like the talk discussing the rules of engagement. You need to say, all right, here's who I'm bringing, and if you bring one person that you people did not agree on, I believe that would be a case for like a disqualification or some sort of
reprimand.
Yeah, consequence.
Yep.
That's why I was saying you need to have one MilSim who's in a community that's the leader that keeps that shit in check.
I don't think we need a MilSim. I think we need maybe an outside source.
Look, as Ryan said with the WMO, look, obviously, you know, I'm a figurehead in the community. I set up the community, I created the community, but well, obviously, you know, we've got guidelines and documents drawn up, which I'm going to send to a number of MilSim leaders, which I'm pretty sure everybody will like. Now, we do want to tweak these documents. We want every MilSim in there to be comfortable and have an input onto these documents, you know, regarding the rules and the guidelines. I'm going to be working alongside SOG, Mr. Smith, who is a sort of neutral to everything here. We tried it in the past. Unfortunately, Smith went inactive. It was before we built Geneva. We had good plans to be able to fix this community. I believe if me and Smith work together, we'll fix this community. We'll make it what it should be. Now we're going to have, you know, obviously, you know, you're going to have some clans that aren't going to want to join the community because they're going to feel like, oh, Lions Den are trying to rule the community, and basically those clans that talk like are clans that don't care for the community. Those are people and clans that just want to make a name for themselves and they're when they say that thing, the people that say that are the ones that actually want to be that and actually want to be the rulers of the community, and the reason they say it is so that they can rule and so we don't have a community.
I agree with you because even if you might not necessarily fully agree, you can at least give it a chance. It never hurts to give it a chance. Give it a week, maybe 2 weeks. If you don't like it, you can leave. But at least then you can say you gave it a chance instead of just shutting out the idea completely.
Yeah.
That's the likes of Ron's the problem. You know, we had the Minion of Chaos, the first as he was saying he was going to get behind the community, and we wanted to all work together.
And he
then,
didn't.
you know, these people, because he's taught, we learnt now that he's with Romstabom, and that makes sense why he didn't, because obviously Romstabom doesn't want to be a part of a community with me, because obviously, as we all know, in the last most successful community to date on Battlefield, I think everyone would have to agree, was Geneva in its prime. During the time when Romstabom was making all this propaganda videos and cheating in wars and bullying all these small clans, Lions Den basically protected the whole community and removed them from, you know, from the community. And obviously, you know, that's always played and hurt Romstabom, you know, because we showed them, you know, our power, and we showed them that we'd stick up for the community and we care for the community. When we did that, obviously, it was quite sad that the community all went behind our backs. A lot of them, the ones that asked us to remove them. Later, when Romstabom was making videos against them with propaganda, all went behind our backs talking to him, which resulted in the Red Meeting. In the end, we ended up slaying those treacherous ones.
I think the fundamentals behind this whole entire community thing is, let's just remember that there's a difference between the MilSim and the clan. You see, the MilSim idea is that you are a military simulation. Now that should go as far as the politics between MilSims. I mean, we aren't all trying to make a name for ourselves. I mean, yes, we are. So you join ours opposed to somebody else's. But in the end, we're all in the same. Like, we're all sucking in the same shit. So that's one. Two is, I personally think that the MilSim community should be an organization. If you want to be a MilSim, if you want to be official, if you want to do something with the rest of every other MilSim, then you should be joining what would be called, for example, if it's the MilSim or the World MilSim Organization, or if it's my idea, whatever it is, you should be in the MilSim community, and everybody in this community.
I'm going to send you these documents now, and you're going to love them.
I just want to go parallel, and I want to say this. I agree with you completely. That was the same years the end. I'm going to bring up a parallel that most people who are watching this and guys in the party probably don't know about, and I hope you don't cringe. But you see, I moved to PlayStation after my Xbox broke, correct? And you see, on Xbox, the biggest community that was closest to military was on Halo. So they had the ranks and everything. And that's where I moved over from. However, I'm sorry to say this. The structure on those was far better. And here, let me explain to you why.
Yeah, well, I can interrupt you there. We're over on Xbox now. And we've also, we've had help with these documents off Faticus. He's a part of the community on Xbox. Now, just for anyone knows, I think we're the first really large MilSim to cross-platform. I think we've got over 60, 70 guys over on Xbox as well, and that's expanding. Our second in command, Green Cayman, obviously is just going off on Xbox, and he's over on Xbox now as well. And these same guidelines are on a community in Xbox. Our reports over there, there's a number of different communities on Xbox. A couple of them are successful, a couple of them are bigger than others, you know. There's no real big community, which is quite sad. Hopefully, you know, with us being over there, we can try and fix that as well. But the community over there seems a lot more mature. There's a lot more mature MilSims over there, a lot more serious. But there's not many big ones, you know. There's a few, you know.
Anyways, as I was saying, the way that it worked there was they still have little kind of organizations, but they wouldn't be communities like you guys say. They were just kind of like blocks, I think they called them there. And the way that it worked was every map was assigned to a MilSim that was their home base, and that's what they would attack.
Yeah. Well, we was going to do that. We were going to do the map last time.
And another thing is, they would have, a lot of them would have something called seasons. It took all the politics out, and it was just fun. Basically, they have a selected group of MilSims for the season, and each one would get a certain amount of maps, and it was for one MilSim to take all the maps, and that's how you would win it.
I wanted to ask a question about this community, because you were talking about...
I'm sending you documents now. I want you to take a look at them while you're on the stream. I'm just going to add them to this chat now. And this is the idea. This is like a basic chart of what we were looking to implement, you know.
I will look, but right after I say this though, because I wanted to ask...
I've just sent you them now, BC, if you want to have a look at them now.
I'm looking at them right now. I wanted to ask you though... What how, because there are more than 10 MilSims, but there are only 10 maps in terms of you know, free maps. So how would
Yeah.
that work here?
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
asking me?
that's something. If we want to do that, you know, that could be, you know, also an alternate thing. It wouldn't. For instance, you could have like a league inside the community where you could have that thing implemented where you may only some clans, MilSim clans that are in the community may not wish to partake in having and being involved with that side of it. So you could have a league where everyone has a map and that's their territory,
Oh, see.
and that could be it.
Oh,
That could be something the community could create, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean the community is based on that. You know
yeah,
what I
let
mean?
me explain the way that I was always toying with the idea. It would be a league every season, and certain MilSims would go on for like if they wanted to join, would go on for like a raffle or something. But if you won the last season, you'd be guaranteed a spot, right?
Yeah.
So what you do is you give each MilSim a different map, and it's something that it's something for MilSims to do whenever they don't want to do the politics or they just want to have fun. You use MilSim tactics and all that stuff, and you can still participate in out of league engagements and stuff like that. But in the league, what you do is you just have to win battles on these maps, and when you win that map, you gain it. And if you lose all of the maps that you gain, you lose the league. You're kicked out.
Well,
So that's what you do, and then you'll have one spectator who works for the league in every game that watches for cheating and shit like that.
Kelly.
And it all goes down till one person takes over like all the maps. That's how.
Simply, a military simulation is a friendly simulation of an actual military in real life, and that I like.
Sounds
And
like
if you're not,
accurate.
and if you're not that, if you do not fit the definition, you should not be in this community. You should not be able to play ops. You should not be able to declare war. You should be blacklisted. You should be out until you can learn.
Have you had a look at them documents? Did you have a look?
I'm
I'm looking through them right now.
I just read one. I just read the Article 1B out loud.
Yeah.
And I think it's everybody. By blacklist, I mean they are not allowed to do
No,
ops.
I know what you mean, but I'm saying
And that's
speaking of
easy,
blacklisting.
and I'm pretty
a
sure
lot of
just
times
off
it's-
reading the first of that you like it. And that's the what Lions Den are trying to work, you know, towards, you know, in building the community. But there's a couple of things in that document we want to work with, the likes of yourself and other MilSim leaders, and maybe tweak some of them rules and things, you know, to create this community. We don't want to lay down the rules for everyone else. We want everyone to be a part. You know, we want a council in the community. We want everyone to have a feel, and all be able to agree on what's right and what's really MilSim and everything. You know. Slent, I've also sent you. I've sent you the same documents, Slent. If you want
Yeah,
to
I'm
take
about
a
to
look,
look through it in a
feel free
second.
to share. Mr. Smith already has a copy, I believe. I think I've already sent him a copy.
There's a lot to read here, Scouser, so I'm going to read this as the day goes on and let you know what I think after this interview.
Okay.
Scouser, maybe this Friday or something, you would like to do maybe even a stream over this specifically.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're probably going to do. I might do a stream later tonight on Lions Den's channel regarding the community. Obviously, I mean, you say Lions Den, we always go out our way for the community to set the community up, but then what's needed in this community is other people, like the way Beezy's talking about the community, he's passionate. We need other MilSim leaders to get involved, to want to make it work. It can't just be us. We don't need to make a community Lions Den. We're successful on our own. This is what people don't get. And then you've got all these jealous and these enemies of ours that try and make out that we want to make a community to rule the community. We don't need, we do it for the community. So this is what we're trying to, if we wanted to dictate and run it, we wouldn't want all the MilSims to get involved and have a say. So what we'd say is all you MilSims that are involved, get a part of it, ask other MilSims to join, have an input into it, you know. Don't let us be the dictators. If people say, oh, Scouse is a dictator in the community, don't let us be. You know, make a stand. You know, try and make the community work for yourselves. That's what we ask. That's what we want. You know.
Man, how could someone say that with the ROMs to bomb around, man?
Well, we all know that kid's cancer, isn't he?
I know, martial, dude.
I will enact MilSim martial law. I am Caesar, the reborn emperor of
Rome. You shouldn't even
Rome.
talk about him because you're feeding his ego now. He's not even worth talking about. He really isn't.
Well, all hail Lord ROMs to bomb, the supreme leader, MilSim. Clearly.
Alright, I just want to say this now. Roms, at the very not Roms. I'm very fucking sorry. Scouser, at the very least, I have skimmed every article here, and I absolutely this is almost exactly what I was referring to. I love this a lot.
Tell by what you were talking about. You see what I mean? You see, that's the sort of thing you're trying to do. You don't see any other clans out there doing that thing. You know, this is what Lions Dan have done in the past, and you know, all these
not letting me open it.
Talk trash about us. Why aren't we thanked for trying to help the community, you know? Why aren't we given a good name? Because you have all these scum and these immature kids that try, you know, that really don't care about the community, that try and ruin it for everyone else and make out that too. So all we ever try to do is help it, you know.
What do you call this document? What do you call these rules here?
That's just a basic draft so far, you know. We want to go over, you know, we want to tweak a number of things, but it's a basic, you know, to give you an idea of what MilSim is and what MilSim should be. You know, that is what we want outlined in the community.
Like,
exactly
I feel like if you don't follow,
exactly
I feel like if you do not follow
we were
this.
talking about earlier. As soon as you started talking, I was like, you're the first guy and the first MilSim leader that I've heard talking and thinking like me, which is, and I'm surprised I haven't talked to you about it, and that's why I sent you the document. I knew you'd like it.
I feel like if you do not follow something very similar to what you put down here, then you should not be allowed to do anything in this community.
Well,
that's it.
You shouldn't, you know, basically.
Can you go over a brief overview of it for us, Beersy?
Me? Okay. I mean, I just skimmed it. I think Scouser is more qualified to do that. He knows more about it.
I'm happy for Beersy. I mean, obviously this is a draft to go over and share everyone, and this is what the MilSim, the WMO will be implementing. Now, you know, obviously, you're going to have idiots who are trying to make communities because they want to be kingpins, who are going to copy off us like they always have, like they did with Geneva, and try and make their own little coalition bandwagon, which isn't a community, and use that stuff. And they try and use that stuff to blacklist real MilSims like ourselves, because let's be real, Lions Den is a real MilSim. We operate like a military simulation. We have everything down to a T. We have MOSs, we have ops, we have every officer position covered. You know, we're a real unit, real platoon. You know, all these things, what some of these MilSims that say Lions Den, you know, when they try and give us a bad name or whatever, they really aren't MilSims. I'm not going to name no one. I'm not going to name any names, you know, to
you know, it would be good, you know, in real life politics, I was saying this too, but we can bring it to MilSim. If it was up to me, if I was God and I was kind of molding the clay that was the world, or in MilSim, if it was up to me, I would have 2 countries, or two MilSims that were huge on both sides. I mean, astronomically huge, and have them fight each other.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Whenever you just need one, like a MilSim is kind of the one that takes charge and stops you from being a fucking retard.
Look, when you have proper, you don't need one. You need one to take charge to get it all set up, and then once it's all set up and you've got a proper council and guidelines and rules in place, then you don't. Then everyone's in charge. Then there's a code of conduct. Then it doesn't matter how big or if you know you're not behaving in a you know using code of conduct. You're not going to be a MilSim because you're not acting like one, are you? You're not a part of the community because you'll be misbehaving. Doesn't matter how big or powerful you are. And that goes for us. This is the thing. You know, we're willing to implement rules which could, you know, in a later date could affect us in a negative way because. You know, we might have the community turn against us, and if we may break a rule, and we may be removed from the community ourselves, what we set up. This is how we want to set up, so that can actually happen.
I don't know. I feel like we should have everybody, regardless of what the MilSim ends up being, follow these rules. And then, if it was up to me, I would have Lions Den even, for example. Like back in the day. I liked honestly when Lions Den and Roms and his guys were about equal power, and then all the little MilSims got to choose. That's what I liked.
Yeah,
I like
that's what
that
I
because
liked.
then it gives you a goal. It gives you a goal. Okay, I'm doing this not to make myself bigger, but to be on the side I agree with. It's what the Cold War
Yeah,
was. That's what it was.
Yeah, so look, Beezy,
each
the way
side had
we
a
look at
common
that,
enemy.
look, that Cold War has been won. Lives then destroyed the 101st. It's as simple as that. Our guys, we destroyed the in war because they were the 17 Spartans. Okay, the 17 Spartans disbanded and the 101st disbanded. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of how we won that war and why it disbanded, but let's just say Lions Den did play a big part in it. But and at the end of the day, that war was won a long time ago. Now they're coming back, and they're, if they try and proclaim themselves to be, the truth is, we already won that war. It's been won. It's done. That's over. It's and as far as we're concerned, we are, the ultimate MilSim at this moment in time. We have proved we're undefeated. Not only that, we were going a year before 101st World Power, and in that year, we were always undefeated. Before he come along, we was always the biggest, the largest MilSim. We always had the most members. We had a bigger YouTube channel. That was it. In most of his wars, he called on Lions Den to help him. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Nice shot, dark shot.
I wish we could all just get along. God damn it, humanity!
Well,
if there is a God,
You
why?
disgust me, Beersy. There's
He
no
is a
such
god.
thing as getting along.
What is
Years
peace?
ago,
What is love?
I hate peace, but I hate the bunch of, like, what was it? I think the way that a certain movie put it is every country is just a warlord trying to expand their territory.
You're such a feminist, Beersy.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate
guys,
feminists.
I'm gonna be leaving the stream. I think that's how long's the stream going go for?
It's been going for almost an hour. Here in 10 minutes, it'll be an hour.
Okay, you may want to end it an hour because obviously if the stream's too long, you might get lack of views.
Yeah.
People don't like to tune in. You haven't got the capacity or the brain attention.
All right. Thank you for
IQ
tuning in to
watch the video
MCNN's
before.
first broadcast. This was Sense Nation, your host tonight. We'll see you next.
Okay.